John, pretty remarkable scoreline in the end, but it did take a bit of working, especially in the second half. But in the end, it's great to have a win and an away win as well.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I think you could say that's the monkey off the back, but we've got to go and repeat this. You know, it's great that we've picked up a really good result and a really good performance. Actually, I think we showed the aspects of our game that we need to work on. We've conceded two really poor goals that should be avoided, and ultimately they go 4-4-2. It looked like an absolute complete mirror copy of the Kidsgrove game. Control the first half, look like the only team that's ever going to go on and win it, and we concede a really poor goal doing what I'm asking them to do. You know, so I'm not going to start saying that we don't play. I'm asking them to play. They're going to make mistakes, and I take that. You know, that's my fault. I take the responsibility of that. It's not about the players. The first goal, second goal, however, we've got to stand up and be counted. You know, you've got to win your first contact, second contact, and that was a bit disappointing. But without being too negative, we just put on a really good performance, and we've scored some really good goals. They've not just packed it in, by the way. A lot of people will look at that and go, yeah, they just packed it in. No, they didn't. They gave us a right good battle, and we had to stand up to it, and we played some really good football. We changed the shape slightly. They went to a 4-4-2. We kind of shifted it to the 3, and I think it worked a little bit better. But we started playing some really good football, especially towards the end, and it just tells me what confidence can do for the team. Yeah. We were told we were an average side with confidence at the start of the season. Some would argue that probably wasn't the case, but no, we're not an average side. You've just gone and seen that we're more than capable of fighting with the big boys in this league, you know. And I think the performances over the last, I'll go as far as 8 weeks' time, have been really good. We've just not picked up the results. We've not had that rub of the green, and today I think we had a bit of the look that we've been missing. But we scored 8 really good goals, and those lads in there should enjoy this feeling and hold on to it. And when we go into the next game, remind themselves that is a good feeling, and we want to do it again.
Yeah. I mean, Kai's missed a couple of games with suspension, but it's been quite a drought by his standards of goals, and he's come back in. He looked hungry from minute one almost, and gets his 3rd hat-trick of the season.
Yeah, he's a young kid. A really good kid though. I love him to bits. He's a funny one, but that's a good thing. You know, you want to have characters, especially like Kai. I had a good old text off him this morning, 7:30. He's like, I'm ready to score 3 today. I'm like, let's just get 1 first, Kai. But he goes and does it. He comes off the pitch. He says, I told you. You know, and that's what I love about him. And he was saying today, he was like a can of Coke someone had just shook up and was ready to go and pop. And I think he did that. You've got to also remember, he is a young lad, so we're not expecting him to go out and score 3 every game. And I think we got to a point where we looked at Kai, and listen, everyone across the league agrees with me. He's arguably one of the best players in the league, if not the best player. And we were telling him that countless times, and you've got to remember that he's only, whatever he is, 20, that as a young kid, you need to manage that a little bit, and I think he's found that quite tough. And I think he'll agree with me. I think he's found that quite tough, and it's now my job to help him keep grounded, help him grow as not just a player but as an individual. I certainly think he is grown as an individual, by the way. He's been absolutely superb for me since I've come in. A young lad, and you can go 1 or 2 ways as a young lad doing well, and he's gone the right way. And if he keeps on doing that, honestly, I can see him really going and pushing on. But if that's what he wants to do, he can go and do it. If he wants to stay here, that's absolutely fine by me as well. But he's a real good kid, and I'm really proud of him. I'm really proud of all the lads, actually. All the lads that chipped in today. Cal Saunders was brilliant when he came on.
Yeah.
And you'd argue, well, he definitely would argue that he's probably felt a bit harshly done by not coming straight back into the team. But he was brilliant. Those 2 goals towards the end all came from the back of him being able to build up, and then he scored a great goal himself, so I'm really proud of him. But Tom Pratt as well, wow, what a performance that was. That's got to be one of his best performances of the season. And he's really putting me under a bit of pressure in terms of who I'm going to vote for manager of the season, because he's been fantastic. And then Joe Robbins as well, he did well the game before. He's kept his shirt, and he came in, he ticked us over, especially in that first half. We played some really good stuff, and a lot of fans and a lot of the guys probably sat behind me will be getting a bit frustrated at some of the passes that we make, but it's about being patient, it's about controlling games of football, and I thought we did that first half. Second half, switched a little bit, and we had to change, and that's probably something that we've not done enough of over the past few weeks, but we did it today, and it worked out. And again, I'll reiterate that I'm really proud of this group of players, because it's been tough. They've had a lot of pressure on them, a lot of pressure to turn what we would call a poor, bad patch around, and I really hope that this is the turning point for us now to go and kick on and have a really good end to the season.
Yeah, you mentioned with the goals that were conceded. Is it communication? Because in the big stadium like this, I couldn't really hear a shout for man on for Kelvin, and that's how we lose the ball and then they score from it. Is that one element that we have to get right?
Yeah, listen, I think communication's your bread and butter. It's football 101. You've got to talk. And do we have quiet players in the team? Yeah, we do, but they're good footballers, and they're good brains, and these are things that you've got to utilise and use. But yeah, no, maybe. But the 2 goals are avoidable. They've had other chances as well. We can't forget about that. They've had other chances as well, which we have to, as a team, do better to avoid. But again, I want to turn the positive spin on this. This is a really, really great result. A really tough place to go. They've picked up some good results. Honestly, the football table, the league table, sorry, it lies. Some teams are in wrong positions. And do I think City of Liverpool should be down there? I don't think so. But they are, and they're finding things tough. And we've just come here and put on a really good performance.